Hi, fragrance fans, and Margaret here. Today I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about Scentsy's wax and what makes us a little bit different, as well as touch on all of our fragrances. I obviously can't go over all of our fragrances with you today, but I was going to talk a little bit about our different collections and the different kinds of fragrances you can find with Scentsy. First and foremost, let's talk about the wax. The wax comes in bars like this that is broken out into 8 individual pieces, blocks, whatever you want to call them. Now, there is some debate in the Scentsy community how it is that you are supposed to divide the blocks of wax. Some people will actually go in with a little paring knife or something and separate them out so they pop out. I tend to break them. I don't cut them. I tend to break them. It's just easier for me that way. So you can pop out a block or 2 of wax, and you go ahead and you pop it in your warmer. Depending on the size of warmer, sometimes I will do 2. On a full-size warmer like this, I will typically actually do 2 as opposed to 1 cube of wax, but you can change it up. It definitely will last a little bit longer than the bigger ones when you use that. Our wax has a low melting point. That is one of the things that makes us unique compared to other places. That is why we can have such low wattage warmers, because our wax melts at about body temperature actually. So it will not hurt when you stick your hands in the melted wax. You'll notice it. It'll feel hot, but it's not going to burn you, blister your skin, or anything like that. It's totally safe. Your kid does it. My son has done it multiple times, and he just laughs about it because the wax will harden on his hand, and then he just thinks it's fun. So it's definitely not hurting him. Obviously, I don't encourage it. Our wax is also food grade. It's the same kind of wax, the same kind of that is used to coat apples and different fruits and stuff to keep them fresh in the grocery store. So if your critter in your home gets curious and likes the smell of it, because obviously some of them smell really, really yummy, and does actually eat some of the wax, they are not going to get sick. It's not something I advise, but it's not going to harm them greatly or anything like that. So that is kind of a bit of what makes our wax a little bit different, a little bit unique, and a little bit better than the rest. So as far as scents go, we divide our fragrances out into collections. This season we have 6 different collections. Last season we had 7. It depends. The spring summer is typically divided out into 6, while the fall and winter is divided into 7. So for this season, we have new releases, which we obviously have every season. We release new fragrances, which is one of the great things about Scentsy. They're always rethinking and redoing, and they will retire fragrances and bring out new ones every 6 months. So it always keeps it fun and exciting, as well as having a fragrance of the month every month. So we can never get bored. We always have something new. So our collections are new releases, spring and summer this season, classics, Corner Cafe, Darling and Dashing, and our kids collection. So new releases obviously can vary as to what they are for this season, because this is our spring summer season. They are typically more spring and summer, kind of light florals and beachy kind of fragrances. For the new releases for this catalog, spring and summer fragrances are typically kind of fruity fragrances, a lot of citrusy fragrances, and some beachy fragrances. That's what you'll find in our spring and summer collection. Our classics are tried and true. Those are it can vary what's in the classics collection because it's based on staples, the ones that have just done really, really well. If you're new to Scentsy, I would say try something from the classics collection, because those are the favorites. Those are our fan favorites, and include like blueberry cheesecake, vanilla bean buttercream, black raspberry vanilla, coconut lemongrass. Those are kind of the ones that you would find in our classics collection Corner Cafe, as it sounds, are yummy, gooey, ooey, yummy, warm bakery kind of scents for the most part. We have some other stuff. Southern Sweet Tea is in there. There are some other food fragrances that aren't bakery, but for the most part, it's a pretty bakery heavy collection. And then Darling and Dashing is a bit of a hodgepodge, but the name kind of explains it if you think about it. What it is it's kind of got all of our very kind of deep masculine scents. That's the dashing part. And a lot of our light, perfumey, very feminine scents, and that's the darling part. So that's why it kind of like runs the gamut, because you've got more masculine scents and more, feminine scents in that collection. So there are a lot of cool ones in there. It's a little bit of a one that I think people don't give enough credit to, but that is our Darling and Dashing. And then we also have our kids collection, which is fun, which basically has a lot of like fun, fruity candy sort of fragrances that kids will love. So that is kind of a breakdown of the current collections that we have for scents. When you go onto my website, though, you can look through by collection, but we also have them divided out by kind of the type of fragrance it is. While the collections sort of divide it that way, there's also a breakdown of different kinds of types of fragrance, which is great. If you know what you like, if you can kind of click there, and that is broken down into bakery, citrus, floral, fresh, fruity, green, spicy, and woody. So that is another way to search fragrances on the website. If you know you like floral scents, then you can go look at floral scents. If you don't like floral scents, you can totally avoid the floral scents. So that's another way to search for fragrances on our website. Definitely our waxes are amazing. I think that certain fragrances are definitely stronger than others. It really depends on your taste, but I'm more than happy to steer you in a certain direction if you have any questions. So I just wanted to hop on and share that with you. And the last thing before we go, I get a lot of questions from new people using Scentsy about exactly how you change your wax out. See, unlike candles, where the wax actually gets dissipated into the air, which is one of the things that actually makes candles unhealthy, our wax stays in the warmers. It's just the fragrance that you smell. So it doesn't melt away like candles do. The wax stays in the warmers as long as you have it in there. So obviously when the fragrance is gone, you have to clean the wax out. There are various different ways that people like to do it. A lot of our dishes do just come out, and I have to admit that there are certain dishes that I will go ahead and just pull them out and dump them because they are very low heat. I will just go ahead and dump the wax in like my kitchen trash can, like one that's obviously lined. But the best way I have found, and it doesn't matter even with the mini warmers where there's no dish to take off, and some of our even full-size warmers don't have a dish, the best way to change your wax out is cotton balls. If you plop cotton balls into your dish, and you gotta wait a couple minutes, it will start to pull up the wax. And within just a couple minutes, it pulls out the wax. You can wipe it out, and it's totally clean. So this is a great way to change out your wax. It's probably the way that I would suggest. People might tell you other ways, but this is the easiest. Another way that I will do it sometimes, because sometimes I'll forget to do it while the wax is melted. So if the wax has cooled and is hardened, what I will do is turn the warmer on for just about 5 minutes, and then it will just melt right on the bottom enough that you can slide it out and you've got like a disc of wax. Then I actually do that when I want to change my wax, but the wax that's in there still actually has fragrance, because then I can keep that disc. I'll put it in like a Ziploc bag and pop it back into the warmer later if I want it. And then this you can just throw out in the trash. So that's basically all I wanted to tell you guys about our wax. We definitely have a lot to choose from, and I'm more than happy to help you pick if you don't know what you would like to, choose. If you're new to Scentsy or you have personal favorites but you want to try something new, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to help. As always, if you have any questions, Scentsy, wax, warmer, or otherwise, because we aren't just wax and warmers, please hit me up and I will be more than happy. Also, check out my website. It's a great way to get some suggestions for scent based on what you kind of like. If you like certain kinds of fragrances, we can steer you in that direction. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.